think I have too much stuff. So I want to do some video tonight over there, but I ended up reorganizing a bunch of stuff and clearing up floor space over here. Well zoomed in under the linotypes and back. You can't tell. Let me stand up. There's the fancy chair I was in. I've been working on organizing this half of my garage, working that from the inside out, and I've basically organized up to where my shadow was pointing right there, well, right there, and a little bit here. Let's see what else I can do. Bit of progress. I got that chair from there over to there, and I got my obscure telephone switch is tucked out of the way here, which is a good thing. What else did I do? Oh, that's about it. A little slice of history here. Typewriters, dot matrix printer, Macs, Apple, the linotypes. I keep, well, more old Macs, telephone circuit boards, floppy disks. I keep these, well, every one of these, there's a reason for having it. That's the joy of collecting things. I've had some people look at my mess here and they kind of go, oh, you got to get rid of some of that stuff. And they kind of act, I don't know, like I'm diseased. Which, yeah, sure, probably a little bit. There's a bit of hoarding happening here. But I sweep the floor. Battery's dying. Where was I? They kind of act like that I'm not aware of this mess. And that, I don't know. It's a bit dark. What I'm trying to say. I don't know, like I'd be happier if I didn't have this stuff. And yeah, probably some days, sometimes, yes. And some of this stuff, I have it out of obligation. I guess obligation to history. That's why I have 3 linotypes and not just one. So that one, sorry, this camera's got this lens on it. And then there's that one, and then there's this one. And I've talked about this one before. I found this at a field. It's rusty. It's seen better days. Most of the parts barely move on it. But it's largely intact. There's some major broken bits down there, but why do I keep it? Well, every year 2 or 3 of these get scrapped. I'm building a database of them, and so far I've found 280 that came out of that factory. The New York, if I light it up with my hand. Manufactured by Mercantile Linotype Company, New York, USA. So that's actually Brooklyn. The other machines might show. Okay, well, all 3 I have say New York. 4 say New York. Anyway, there's only so many of these made. There's only so many left. There's only so many people who care about them. But down the road from now, there'll be even less of these left, and even less people that care about them. So I kind of see this obligation to the future to just take this thing, shove it in here, and at least keep it from rusting further. And if when I'm stuffed in a hole in the ground, this stuff gets stuffed in the hole in the ground as well, so be it. But if it doesn't, then at least a piece of history survived another however many years. And and hopefully someone else will carry the torch. Otherwise it ends up in the garbage, which I'm fully aware that might happen. You know, people talk about rare antiques, and well, how do things become a rare antique? And it's easy, I guess. You make a lot of something, or actually no, you make a number of something, and then everyone throws them away, and the ones that are left are rare. These aren't rare. The SE30 here it's becoming less common because they don't survive the test of time very well. But these are a good example that I remember back in the 90s, people were just throwing these things out by the stacks. High schools were upgrading their computer labs, businesses were upgrading, and they just throw them out. They'd send them into the garbage. We weren't even big on recycling back then. And now people are collecting them, and they're selling them on eBay, and there's people devoted to restoring them, and you know, people are spending money on them again. And I don't keep these things because I want to be rich. That's never going to happen from this stuff because I'll never get rid of it. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at. It's all part of keeping history alive. Let's sort some cables. Keep forgetting where I was at. I get busy cleaning. Yeah, the other thing about collecting old crap like this is you realize how wasteful we are. It's just the amount of technology that's thrown away to make room for new technology that ultimately does the same thing. Why am I keeping this? Oh, because it's not even an authentic apple. Whatever, one day I might. Speaking of wastefulness, contemplating throwing away a perfectly good power cord. But I'm not in Europe. This was a lot of Mac hardware came with these power cords. There's another one there. They're as close to authentic Apple as you're gonna get for certain vintages of Macs. Gotta keep those. Whenever I need one of these IEC power cords, I can never find one. Hilarious. One pile of floppy drives. It's not mine. I should put that back. Like that and that. Mouse? Look at this mouse. Oop. Well used. It's polished. It's hard to tell, but completely polished. This is probably actually one from when I was a kid. What does that say? Another one that's polished to a shine. One of the, what are these? Desktop ADB mouse. ADB Apple Desktop Mouse 2. ADB Mouse 2. Not my favorite. They always felt cheap to me compared to the one. Here's another one. Scuzzy ribbon cable. Not quite the right bin for it. I like concoctions like this. Scuzzy Terminator ribbon cable. So that is a great way to connect to an external hard drive with internal hardware. Big old Scuzzy cable, roll of tape, and a Sante talk, Ethernet to local talk bridge, and so that would go in there. And that's an Apple local talk connector with its 3-pin cable. That's neat because these have, let's see if you can see that, these have a locking plug, so you can't pull them out until you've pulled that thing. Nice touch. An authentic 3-pin local talk cable. More local talk connectors. I've got boxes of these somewhere. Should deal with. An IEC to IEC cable, which is another neat feature of old computers, is that you would plug your monitor into your computer power supply. So when you turn one on, both turned on. That's Reassembly talk. Well, it's not quite the right bin again, but it's going in there. Oh, well, that's some stuff taken care of. Now I think what I want to do is I want to get that saw. It's a compositor saw, printer saw. I want to get that out of there and put where that weird looking green chair is back there. Now let's pull that chair forward. And then I can squish these two teletypes in and get better access to my telephone stuff. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know I had that piece of plywood there on the wall there. I don't anymore because I found a good deal on eBay for a DC fuse panel, and so I started to piece together a wall-mounted rack, and then the seller is just not there. I paid, he didn't accept the PayPal payment. It just sat forever, so I canceled the payment. It's still sitting there. It's been probably over a month. He hasn't even acknowledged the sale, which is a bit odd. So that kind of canceled those plans. It was a good deal, maybe too good of a deal. I don't know what kind of fraud plan he's playing at though. But anyway, so my power, everything has been stripped down to nothing. So I'm connecting phones to the screw terminals here if I need to. Look at that, classy. It's a Bix box shoved in there. I have upgraded my breakers. So I've got a 10 amp breaker. A 10 amp breaker for my battery disconnect, and then I think that's a 5 amp breaker for the phone system. So I realize I've got phones tucked everywhere. Broken phones, working phones, and I need to get them organized. Those, that big black box, those brown boxes, that black box, they're all full of old telephones. There's one hiding right there too. So I'm gonna put some more of these things. These things are going up here. I put that there. I can put a couple of shelves up here and put some phones away. Well, it ain't the prettiest, but it'll do. The brackets aren't spaced evenly because where that line is, that section of wall is removable, and I think it comes out from the other side. I can't remember. Yeah, it does. It comes out from the other side, so I can pull on it all I want this way by attaching shelves to it, and it's attached in. There's a mechanism to clamp it in. Anyway, because of that removable section being there, the spacing of the studs is a bit goofy. You notice my ceiling is still not finished. There's still a gap along the top of the wall that isn't finished, but one day. Anyway, I scrounged around for some shelf boards and found some cedar fence planks that I planed a while back because I like the smell of cedar, and they'll work for now. Let's put some stuff on them. Oh, there it is. The very unexciting collection of unrestored and beat up Automatic Electric Model 80s and Northern Electric and ITT Model 500s. No Western Electric in this part of the world. So I've got one more 80 in there. Oh, I guess it's a Model 90 and a Starlight that's in a million pieces for some reason. Not sure why. And then I think I think a lot of the others are wall phones. And I just found another ivory Starlight. This is a touch-tone model. Woo. And I don't know if I showed this one already, but it's a red wall mount Starlight. That actually came from the same guy I got this lathe from. He gave it to me, which is kind of cool.
Starlight, star bright, first telephone I see tonight.
So I think I'll put another row of shelves there, and then I can deal with the last remaining Model 80s that I have out here. There's some more in the front half of the garage as well that I need to bring back here. Oh, mystery box. I put all this stuff on top when I was sorting wires. What's inside? Oh. Bag of vinyl's getting sticky. Look at that suntan. Yeah, I get it, retro bright. Thank you. Jeez. Holy crap. Ew, that's sticky. A Northern Electric Contessa. Definitely prettier than the Starlight. So while I was cleaning up, I found this. This is a automatic electric model 182. It's in pieces, and I can't remember why. I think it was just getting cleaned. I'm trying a new camera method. I know the audio will be like. Let's put it back together. It's in very good condition. What if it has, oh yeah. So that sticker right there means that it's in my database of phones. Oh, this cord is sticky. Oh, well, the ringer is missing its gong. That's part of the handset. Let's do that first. These are handset bits. And it looks like a piece is missing. Look how organized I was. Out of the earpiece. No, out of the mouthpiece. So, oops. Yeah, keep that off. So there's a bracket that goes in there. I think I have spares though. I'll go check. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Okay, so I'll set all that aside and do that later. Let's try put this thing back together. This is strangely lobotomized. Dial is missing this bit, which would go like that. I'm really hoping. Okay, so that screw is for the dial wheel. That is one of these. I'm missing a whole lot of screws, which is unfortunate. There's some in the box. Where did I put the box? Nothing. Okay, looks like I'm digging out my parts bin after all. Alright, let's move all this, I'll dump it. There's that piece of junk. Now my parts dials. Now some of these are worse shape than others, which means they'll be better to rob parts out of.
Well, I would have kept the screws, but I may have robbed them for something else. Pro tip, don't take apart the contact pile up.
It is what happens. Okay. Oh, I don't want to have to... Forgot I had these. Any of these broken? No. Oh, there. There's a sad looking one. Perfect. Lobotomize that. What else is in here? Oh, it's just a wash with parts. Huh. Oh, that's why we have parts. Parts. I think I only need two. I had one. Have I now lost the one I had? Oh, there it is. I had one. There we go. Well, now I know why this was in pieces. Stop goes there. Trying to be lazy about this, it's not working out. Or it is. Oh, if I don't get that one started. We're centered. Sorry if I was out of frame, still figuring out where my framing is. Okay, and then we can put the dial wheel on. Like that. And then it's a flat screw. Where did I put that? There it is. Goes in the... Of course, full memory card right in the middle. Okay, and then this goes in there. That's a dial. What is this? That looks important. I'm guessing that goes right there. And then, what did I do here? No, there's no screw siding. It's not like me to take something apart. When did I bought it like this? I can't remember. Okay, well this is from the slightly complicated School of Assembly. So, dial goes in the case, and then this dude goes on top, kind of clamps the whole mess together, and then for screws, I think it's using, oh, almost. It's using these wood screw looking things here. Which leaves me with this, which I should figure out what that belongs to before I follow through on this assumption. But there's indentations here. So that looks like it was in there. Or was it? Oh, I bet that's from the middle of the bell, maybe? Nope. There's that. Did that go in there? There's probably screws here from other projects. Screw for the phone is that one. Of course, I have cousins for this phone. That's a 182. This is a 192, which is the same damn thing. But I can't remember how it goes together. think it's just stick a pryulator in there. There we go. That was easy. This is when they finally figured out how to make cheap phones. Okay, that's got some kind of screw. Okay, there are definitely machine screws on this one. What are those two wood screw looking things for? My dial is missing. Ah, this is slightly different. Alright. Different vintage. This one has a metal clip, which is nice. And the dial is held in with two screws. What kind of screws? Those are machine screws. What else we got? Nothing. That clip for the wires. That mechanism is the same in this one, so this is a closer vintage. The bell is held in by two screws. So I'm missing one bell screw, which is probably not that. Ah, that board's floating. What's that held in with? One screw right in the middle. That'll be one of those. Is there a clip? Yes, there is. So this doodah goes here towards the little cap. Am I in the shot? No, of course I'm not. That goes there. Oriented that way. Those are positive drive. That's not a positive drive screwdriver. I don't care. Well, that's just falling right through. Oh, because I'm nowhere near where I'm supposed to be. Two screws. One here, one there. Why is everything missing from this thing? Okay, well, it's got one screw. Oh, no. There's two. Okay, so that one's for the middle of the dial, or the board. That feels perfect. That goes there. Probably didn't see that because I'm still learning my framing with this new setup. That one. Back up. Clickety click. Okay, let's put red away. So I'm looking at these screw holes and they're pretty haggard. So I have a feeling these were the screws. Where's that nice one? Yeah, like I can't even get that started. Yeah, those go in there. Okay, weird choice. So the dial goes that way. Just interesting. Like that. That goes like that. And then that goes like that. Oh yeah, there's no fighting that. That just pops right in. Weird. God, imagine the fight the engineer had over that one. And then it's got this little clip here that's supposed to help wire management. I guess the wires don't yank out of the dial. Handset's still connected. I'm not going to worry about a line cord for now. Oh, crap. This thing usually snaps onto that thing and jams up the spring, apparently. And I'm out of frame again. What? Oh, to repaint that cord. I hate when they paint cords. Savagery. Okay, we're gonna cram it together. So the capacitor's jamming up on something. Oh. Yeah. What? No, that was right. Just to get that into there at the same time. And then figure out what the heck is. Alright, this one's screwed together. Sorry if I just... Reconditioned, August 1984. Sure. Painting things is reconditioning them. It is basically brand new, other than the paint. Alright, now the handset. We can remove that because it is reunited with number 29. And it's on the floor. Now the way this works is, normally there's a little cotton ball inside there, but I don't think it's there anymore. I'm pretty sure at this point they weren't caring. Four colors. Oh, shoot, before I did that, I should probably put this thing in. Everything's just cheap. This is like the cost reduced. It's weird. Because these didn't change for years. There's my oldest one. I don't know. This white 80s got some age to it. Oh, it's a bit different. Not much different. But these wings are bigger. This tab in here is offset. So what they did was they re-engineered it to use a smaller stamping because they needed to save a penny. That should hook in around that thing. I need to take the screw out a bit more. I'm marring up the crappy painted cord. Some old fart's gonna get under here. Go, oh, you're tightening the screws wrong and you're not using your screwdriver right. And checking for consensus. It doesn't matter. Right. So, on my other phone, which I'll use as reference, the green goes to this guy. And then the red goes to this guy. Nope. in black and yellow, of course. Go up the tube. And come out the other end. Come on. There we go. I'm sure these are the shortest length possible. To save money. Now that goes in that one. It's sitting kind of goofy. Ugh. Just don't like. Oh, I gotta put it the right way. I don't think it matters. Oh, they painted the transmitter black. Don't want to see a shiny bit of metal. And then, even this they cheaped out on. No more screw terminals. Just these slidey anythings. And then that little bump there lines up with that right there. Ah, crap. This springy thing goes on there first. Now all goes together, line that puppy back up. Perfect. I wonder if it works. I never did figure out what the screw is for. It may have just ended up in the box. We'll go with that. I don't recognize it. I've fiddled around with a lot of these. I need some dial tone. Before we get to dial tone, let's look at this. That's pretty yucky. Oh, what's going on? It's all corroded and gross. It's the same goop that's leaking out of the vinyl. Can't really get in there, but I don't feel like going to find a brush anywhere else. What I'm really trying to do is just get the bulk of it out. Nope. Ah, it's clean enough, I think. You. Okay, we're on. Dial tone. Hello. I have side tone. Cool. Let's give that a little cleaning. That shine. Holy Batman. I'm not getting dial tone. Oh, I know why. I have one of my 3 selectors not properly pulled out of the chain. So I end up with these dead spots where it takes time to get dial tone. See? Should probably fix that. Alright, that's good. Not bad. Now I can add it to the collection. The part of the collection that I've dug out. But I don't know if there's room up here. There isn't. But we're going to put it there anyway. There we go. In the yellowed Princess phone Contessa section. So something that I like about automatic electric stuff is hanging the phones up, and that was something that made a big deal about. And I noticed it with the Contessa. You've got to like line that thing up perfectly. With this stuff, you just automatic electric, you can just chuck it on there. But this thing, it's like, it's a pain in the butt to line that thing up. And it was the same with their phones, and it's, to me, quite noticeable on like a 500 style set, where it's like, it's the same thing. There's this really definite, I don't know, that versus the Model 80, which they have these much smaller little dudes there, and it just pops right in. I don't know, I like it more. So the light's getting all blown out by the light being there, but this is the newly organized gadget workstation. Extension cord on the floor. I finally got a hunk of wood to use as a workbench. I'm not using the top of that cabinet. And I kind of organized all this stuff so I can actually get to the area and stacked up all my computers. This is the chair we were looking at the last time I was talking at you. I moved the saw over there like I'd planned, and added a third shelf. I don't know why I put the printer there. I'll move it later. It's kind of a better view. Put some crap up there. Put the doors back on the PBX. I got my teletypes organized. I get a bit more room happening now. I'll show this. This is my electronic parts area. ICs, resistors, prototyping stuff, pots and sockets and switches and more resistors. I think that's it so far. Yeah. Yeah. But that was done a while ago. Teletypes tucked in there. So I'm using a lens with a slightly narrower field of view, so I gotta move around a lot more. And yeah, my batteries have been demoted to the floor again. One day, I guess I can step back here and get a clearer picture of what's going on there. Oh, and insulation I gotta get rid of. That's lots of fun. There it is, the gadget workstation area. And for the camera, what I'm doing, turn that off. So this is one of those, I'm going to say Noga style, but I don't think they invented it. Little arms with a tripod bracket on the end. Oh, I gotta. So it's got a clamp on this end, and I just screwed a socket, a deep socket, an old junk one I had, with a big washer onto the bottom of my shelf with that clamped onto it, and then I can screw that onto the camera and get the good top-down view so my head's not getting in the way of shots.